automatic. Very often, it's a lot easier when you're learning Torah to realize that you're now working and you're nurturing your relationship with Hashem. But when you're eating or working or playing sports, it's a little harder, but it's very doable. And there's a lot of points about it. That's the message. That every part of you corresponds to. And every chunk of time, every unit, every single day of the year. It's not like, yeah, today's a fast day, so whatever, or today's just not a good day, so I can't connect to Hashem now. No, you can connect to Hashem in any kind of day you're having, and Hashem's higher than everything. Okay, let's move on. Where are these mitzvahs found? A little trickier. All right, so we'll let everybody at once. The tricky ones I'm not. Okay. The first 5 books. The first 5 books. We mentioned before. Remember, I told you to get back to it. That's what I know that all the mitzvahs are recorded. All 613 are recorded in the first 5 books of the Torah. That's what they're found. Gets very interesting. All right. This is interesting. There's no. They're not highlighted. You have a Torah scroll. There's no punctuation whatsoever, and there's no highlights, and they're not links that you could click on them. There's actually no consensus what are counted as the 630 mitzvahs. There's many different ways. The most famous and popular probably is Maimonides, Rambam. But there are other scholars who have different ways of counting it. But what's beautiful about it, and fascinating as well, which I'm not going to elaborate too much about it, is they could argue, because Jews argue, but because families are supposed to argue, but they don't really disagree on important things. They'll argue about how you count it. For example, you come from different communities. Some people say, some communities they do 1 blessing for both tefillin. Some do 2. Some do, they try to do 1. If they speak, they'll do 2, right? That's what Chabad does. Where does that come from? It's a difference if you count, it has to do with you count it as 1, we count it as 2. But is there any Jews that walk around and say you only have to put on one tefillin, only on the head, the head? No such thing. Everyone agrees you have to put on both. They're only arguing how do you count it, as 1 or as 2?
How do we know there are 613 mitzvahs?
That's a tradition from Sinai, that's recorded in the Talmud. But you're going to get more about that. Okay, I just want to show you that it's not so simple. Another thing that's very interesting about, okay, this we started to say before we get more to the mitzvahs, another way to look at Torah is that, when you buy your phone, right, it comes with this thick book. Anything you buy these days, a nice manual that tells you don't take your phone and stick it in the microwave, or put it inside it, dunk it in your bathtub. Maybe